of the importance of being in the good regard of the people, of serving the people, looking after the people, being a moral person, being kind, generous, compassionate, tolerant towards God's people. Because this is the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Let me tell you something. Today, in this day and age, we have some people who call themselves Muslim, who try to enforce the practice of the religion of Islam upon other people. Muslims or non-Muslims, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. In the Quran, in the book of Allah, Allah has made it very clear. Allah says, La ikraha fid deen. There is no compulsion in deen. There is no compulsion, there is no force in deen, in religion. You know, I'll tell you a funny story. There was a great scholar in the UK, and he was a very, very practicing person. And you know, in the religion of Islam, it is compulsory for a female to cover her hair, okay, according to Islamic law. Anyway, in the UK, he was traveling about with his wife one day, and a lot of people pointed a finger at her because she didn't wear a scarf. And they said, look at him, he's a hypocrite. He's a big scholar, he goes around preaching to everybody. And look at his wife, she doesn't even observe the headscarf. This is typical understanding in people, or typical sort of, modus of operation, and the people jump to conclusions so quickly. So they grabbed him one day, and he said, look, please, Allah says in the Quran, La ikraha fi deen, there's no compulsion in deen. I can't force her to wear the headscarf. If she wishes to wear it, this is something for her to make a choice. It's for her to make her own independent decision. I can't force her, don't hold me accountable for these things. But it shows there's a mentality. It shows there's a lack of knowledge out there. And people don't seem to understand the religion of Islam and the tenets that it was founded upon. And you know, I talked to you about tolerance. And I give you one or two examples of tolerance of the Prophet ﷺ, of the Prophet of Islam. You know, there's a very famous story that I heard since I was a child. And this is how I and many people that I've spoken to were brought up with these understandings of Islam. And this was the person that I talk about when I say the Prophet of Islam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They say the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to take a particular route every single day. And on this route, there used to be an elderly woman who wasn't a Muslim. And she would stand at the front of her house every day, and every time she seen the Prophet Muhammad, you know what she would do to him? She would throw rubbish at him to express her dislike towards him. And she would throw things at him, rubbish. Oh, look at him, Prophet of Islam, what do you think he is? Elderly woman. You know what the Prophet ﷺ did? They would smile at her and walk by. They wouldn't say anything to her. They would clean whatever rubbish she threw, and they would continue. And this used to happen on a daily basis. This woman would abuse the Prophet, she would swear at the Prophet, she would say bad things to them. Every day they passed by, every day. They didn't mind, they didn't say anything to her. And one day, as the Prophet was passing by her house, she wasn't there. She wasn't there. And the Prophet became concerned. He became concerned. So he knocked on the door and he found that there was no one, and he checked and he seen the door was open. So he went in to see where this old lady was. And when he seen her, she was very sick on her bed. And he said to her, I was passing by, I didn't see you today. Are you okay? And she said that I'm very sick and I'm ill, and there's no one to care for me, for I have no family. For I have no family. So the Prophet bought her some food and drink, and they cared for her, and they attended to her. And they seen if there was anything that she needed. At these kind actions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this woman's heart became filled with love. And she cried and she apologized to the Prophet for her slander and for the abuse that she had given him over a large period of time. And she said, if this is the modus of operation, this is the character of the real Muhammad, Then she said, if this is the case, then I accept testimony of Islam and I accept that you are the final messenger. And she accepted the religion. And on what basis? On what basis? When she's seen the kindness of the Muslims. And she's seen the kindness of the Prophet Muhammad. This is the kind of attitude and character we must adopt for us to stand up in society and people say, these are great people. These are the people of Muhammad, Muhammadans. Another story that comes to my mind, this is an authentic tradition of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, in the time when Islam first came about in the Arabian Peninsula, Islam started off very small. Today we're around about 1.7 billion Muslims around the globe. And in those days Islam was very small. And the Meccans, they hadn't really taken too well to Islam. They were very angry because it took people away. These people were accepting Islam. So they were very angry, they were very disgruntled. Anyway, one man came, and he came with the intention to disrespect the Prophet Muhammad. He came with the intention to disrespect the Prophet Muhammad. And he came and he knocked on the door of the house of the Prophet. It was evening, right? In those days, they didn't have travel lodges or Ramada hotels. You know, they would seek refuge somewhere local with the people, right? It was a desert in those days. So he knocked on the door of the Prophet Muhammad, and the Prophet Muhammad opened the door, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said to him, can I stay with you this evening? I'm a traveler, I've come from far. I have my horse with me, and can I stay at your home, please? And the Prophet Muhammad welcomed him in, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they made him food, and they allowed him to freshen up in their home, and they prepared a bedroom for him. They prepared a room for him, and an area where he would sleep. And this man, he stayed the evening with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he had come with the intention to disrespect the Prophet of Islam. So you know what he did? The next morning he woke up very early. And you know what he did? He urinated on that bed that the Prophet gave him. He purposely, intentionally, he urinated all over the bed to disrespect the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he quickly left the house, got on his horse, and went forth towards the desert. When he reached the desert, you know what he realized? He left his sword at the Prophet Muhammad's house. And you know, in those days, they said if you travel without your sword in the deserts of Arabia, you're a dead man. Because it was rough out there. The Meccans had a very rough sort of personality. So he became worried. He thought to himself, what should I do? Should I go into the desert and possibly get killed? Or should I go back to the house of the Prophet Muhammad and ask for my sword or take my sword? He said, no, I can't do this. If I go back to the house of the Prophet Muhammad, he is the king of Islam. By now, his senior people and personnel, people like Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Ali, they would have been notified by now of the disrespect which I committed in the household of the Prophet ﷺ. And equally I could die if I returned. They would kill me. So he was thinking, what should I do? What should I do? In the end he made a decision. He said, if I go into this desert further, then I will definitely die. I need to go back to my sword. I'm going to take the risk. So he goes back and he goes to the Prophet Muhammad's house. He sneaks in very carefully, very quietly. And he said when he went to the place where he had previously slept the night before to collect his sword, he said he seen the Prophet of Islam, the King of Islam, the leader of the Muslimin. He was on his knees, he had a bucket of water, and he had a cloth which he was using to clean the area where this gentleman had urinated. And when the Prophet ﷺ turned around and they seen him, you know what they said to him? They said, you've left your sword. Here it is, you can take it now. And the man was completely shocked. He said, this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the compassion of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I thought by now any other leader would have notified his men. They would be searching for me. This Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was cleaning this mess with his own hands. He was using a cloth and a bucket of water. And even then, he greeted me with such love and kindness and generosity. This is the Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that Allah says in the Quran that he was an example for all mankind. We all know, and many historians have said this, that when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he came to this earth, the period we were faced with in Arabia, they say arguably it was the worst time in human history. They called it the Dark Ages. And they said people were at their worst. They had no regard for life. They were barbaric and brutal. You looked at a man in the desert and you made eye contact with him, he would draw his sword and he would battle you. People would bury their daughters alive, and not newborn daughters. Daughters old enough to walk and speak. They would commit these disgusting atrocities in the world. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he took these people out of darkness and he put them into light. And this was the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the sublime character which I talked to you about, that Allah invites us in the Quran and He tells us, become like Him, become like Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And let me tell you this, when we love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when we love him, only then will we truly take on his personality. Only then will we truly take on his personality and emulate his colors. And when we radiate this love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then we will become a beautiful nation. What kind of love am I talking about? Let me give you one example. In this same time, the Meccans I spoke about, when they were disgruntled and they weren't happy with this new takeover of Islam. So you know what the Meccans did? They sent spies. And they said, go and communicate with the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go communicate with them. See if they will tell you their secrets. See if you can learn about their weaknesses so we can finish Islam or we can destroy Islam. And this is some of the things that they said. And you know the spies, they sent their top men. And the spies went out and they were looking at the Prophet and they were looking at the companions and they observed them. And eventually they returned. And you know what they told the Meccans? They said to them, you want us to uncover intelligence and see if one of their men will give us information about their secrets so we can find their weaknesses and destroy them? He said, not the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, you've chosen the wrong people. Why? He said, when the Prophet Muhammad was making ablution, when he was washing himself for the prayer, the companions were all around him. And as every droplet of water came off the body of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I've seen the companions dive for it. They dived to catch this water and they would smear it into their faces and their bodies because of its association with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These people are intensely in love with the Prophet. They wouldn't disobey him. They're not going to turn their back on him. They would rather die than tell us their secrets. And this was the love that they had for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And finally, I make this remark. They say, if you want to see the true colors of a person or a nation, then don't examine it. Whilst this person or this nation is at their weakness, examine them when they are at their peak, when they are in leadership, when they are in riches, when they are at the height of their development. Then see them.